Can't believe I learned to do this. Here he is.
I'm new to the whole online now.
Are you? That makes me feel a lot better. Hey, Facebook, looky here. We've got Justin Fox. Hi, Justin.
Hi.
Hi.
Thanks for having me on here.
You're welcome. What do you have to say to people? What do you have to tell them to encourage them? Understand them?
I hope everybody's doing good. Staying positive through all the quarantine, We definitely hope to get through the tough times, I do want to get back to work and do comedy,
Yes. So you live in LA? That's what your bio said?
Actually live in Hemet, which is near Riverside.
I know Hemet.
I traveled to LA and San Diego or other places to do comedy, which is always a fun thing to do.
Yes. I lived in Sun City for 15 years.
Ooh, I love Sun City. I mean, it's small too.
Yeah, lots of golf carts.
Yes, that's what I feel like. I need a vacation. I feel like that's where I want to go.
Yeah. And when you retire, it's a good place to go. You know the Estelle Getty, the little old lady on Golden Girls?
Yeah.
She lived in Hemet before she died.
Oh, nice. But, oh, man, that's not good to hear about her death. But, that's cool. I mean, I heard Tom Cruise lived here in 1980s for the Scientology here.
Wow.
Apparently a lot of celebrities come here, I guess.
Yeah, I think they like to get away from Hollywood,
Yeah, it's a little different out here. I mean, you can hibernate. People won't realize who you are. And then when you actually see that person, like, close, then you're like, oh, my God, it's this person.
Yes. Now, when you're in Hemet, you're kind of not that far from Paris where they have the skydiving. Have you ever done that?
Actually, I'm afraid of heights, but I thought about actually doing skydiving because I wanted to get over the phobia of being afraid of heights, so I really wanted to do that. I just haven't got the chance to do it. I thought about doing indoor skydiving first before I do the actual skydiving.
That's great, yeah.
I would love to go skydiving because I want to see what it's like, but I'm more afraid of the height problem,
Yeah.
But definitely I got to try it soon.
It's one of my recurring dream fears of being pushed out of a plane. I have that fear of splatting on the ground.
Oh, yeah, that would be actually interesting to see me actually do that too. But I don't know if I will return.
Yeah.
This is not like a video game you can come back to, but I mean, hopefully the parachute do come out when you actually are in the air, so that would be hopefully a good thing,
Now, you're really... What's that?
I'm more afraid of the parachute not coming out. That's what I feel like.
Yeah, I know. You have to trust somebody to pack it the right way and that it works. That takes faith. I don't have that kind of faith. So you're young. Do you get into any other extreme sports?
Well, I don't do extreme sports, but I watch sports. I mean, I'm into football. I like football or basketball or baseball, and definitely hockey. I just try to focus on my career mostly to continue finding better things, but I still love to watch sports if I can, but I don't play it because I feel like at 32, I'd rather watch the young people do it than me,
Yes. Who's your favorite, is it basketball, baseball, football? What's your favorite sport and who's your favorite team?
I would have to say football and the NFL Chargers.
Wow.
I love, LA Chargers. I've been a fan of the Chargers since they moved back from LA. When they moved from San Diego to LA, it was tough to see them move, but I mean, they're still my California team,
Yeah. So are you staying on tabs with tonight at 5:00, the NFL draft? Is that of interest to you? Yeah?
Yeah, actually, I mean, I'm still interested in watching it. I'm actually watching it right a little bit over here, but mostly focusing on this. But, I still try to make sure I pay attention to what's going on,
Will you let me know if Justin Herbert from University of Oregon gets drafted while we're on this?
I definitely will. I hope they actually draft him in the first round. I definitely hope that. That's what I want them to do.
Yes, I'm really pulling. I'm a University of Oregon fan through and through.
Ooh. All right, there we go. Is Oregon called the Ducks or something?
It is.
Yeah, there we go. That's a good team to have.
Yeah. Well, you got the backing of Phil Knight and Nike behind you with new uniforms every week.
Oh, yeah. They're bringing out a lot of. I love the Charger new logo and the new color of their uniforms. They have actually pretty cool, beautiful colors. I mean, it's better than the Rams sometimes.
I'll have to check that out. I didn't know they were coming out with that.
Yeah, the Rams have a new logo. The Chargers made a decent logo. It looks the same, but just different color. I guess more blue. The Rams made a different whole logo, so it's a lot different now than they used to be. I mean, the horrible logo now. I mean,
wow.
I don't like it.
So, when it comes to football, that's your favorite sport. What's your favorite position to watch, or who do you identify with most on the football field? Because me, it's a quarterback. I'm not gonna lie, and I'm a girl. Is that the same with the guy?
Yeah, I would agree. I mean, some people like wide receivers or defense or linemen. I mean, I'm mostly about a quarterback because they're the only ones that know what they're doing. I mean, they got to be the guy to throw the ball at the same time, hopefully not to be tackled at the same time. So, their job is really hard. I mean, they're more probably like the hardest job on the field to do. And then you got to deal with your defense. Your defense is hopefully will make it better for the offense,
Yes. But I know that there's a lot of people in football that don't, like there's smart schools, like you have to have really smarts to go to Yale, And so I think that the quarterbacks at Yale have a better chance of being better quarterbacks than at some place where anybody gets in.
Yeah, I agree to that. That's definitely, I mean, quarterbacks are probably like the main thing in the game. So, you want them to be healthy every year so you can at least try to win a championship, I've seen some crazy quarterbacks like Patrick Mahomes from the Kansas City Chiefs.
Mm-hmm.
That guy, incredible. It's very incredible to see him at his age and how success he's doing.
Nice.
But yeah, I mean, football's always fun to watch. I mean, definitely I love watching comedy too. I think that's always the best part.
Who's your favorite comics to watch?
I would have to say Robert Williams and Chris D'Elia.
You picked some good ones there. You picked some good ones. What do you learn from each one of them? What's the top thing you love about each of them?
Mostly their ambition and how they do things. I mean, their total difference. I mean, you got Chris D'Elia and Robert Williams remind me of like a hype comedian. Like they're so hype out there. They're energetic. They go out and they just try to do whatever they can just to make people laugh. And it's incredible how they do their work. And Robert Williams is like a masterpiece. Like he could go out there and just do so much, and you never realize what kind of man he is underneath the comedian,
Isn't that the truth?
He's a really incredible person, I hear. I guess I didn't get to meet him before he died, but Robert Williams probably would be the best comedian I ever liked because of the way it reminds me of Jim Carrey a little bit, like just how outgoing they can be on stage. Yes.
So I lived in San Francisco in the Haight District, H-A-I, not H-A-T-E, the Haight District, where all the hippies used to hang out in the 60s. But I was too shy to go there then. So I went there in the 2000s, and he was living off of Haight. And every day he would walk by and talk to all of the homeless guys for hours. And if they started making a big deal about him because he's a celebrity, he'd just leave. And every year, after he did Patch Adams, that movie with the red nose, every year after he did that, it ignited something inside his soul. So every year he went through the hospital at USF San Francisco University Hospital, and he would ask every child in the wards, the children's wards, what they wanted for Christmas. He would go out and buy it. He would wrap it, and he would deliver it every year after Patch Adams till he died.
Dang, that just sounds like a really sweet guy. I mean, that reminds me of like Mr. Rogers.
Yeah.
The guy from Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood, of how like the background of him too. Like these guys are what made life so inspiring. I mean, I don't think I can ever see that. You know, sometimes nowadays you don't see people like that.
Yeah.
I mean, but even if they feel alone, they do whatever they can to make another person to smile. I mean, that's incredible to help kids too, especially what the kids go through in hospitals. I mean, it's at least to make them happy each time or each day, a little bit at each moment. I mean, it's better than nothing, I guess, because some of us are lucky to what we have in our lives. So, I mean, if people help each other out like that, I mean, that's worth of appreciation of having people like that in the world, which you need, because the world is kind of really messed up right now, especially right now, with everything going on. I mean, there's nothing like, you want to keep hope, and you also want to keep positive, but there's so much going on where you don't even know what direction it's going, you know, like you hope for the best.
Yes. That's all we can do is keep positive vibration, you know, like you would think that if we're having a pandemic, people would bring out their best self. Like we're all in the same boat. Jimmy Kimmel isn't doing anything more than you and I are doing right now, you know?
Yeah.
And, you know, like everybody is so close to losing jobs and homes, you know, in the whole world. And we have to argue about politics and when are we going to open up a city? For God's sake, could we just be more human?
Yeah, I get that. I mean, people are just what they are. They have their ideas of what they want. And no matter what people say, their opinion. I mean, I hope the world will get better. I do hope I can go back on stage and perform. That's what I miss. I miss doing comedy the most because I miss actually having social, like, people to talk to in person and being able to go on stage and make people laugh over the stupidest things that I do in life or whatever happens in my life. I mean, that's what we need. I mean, I wish right now we're doing comedy or interviews live, and it's okay for now until we need better. You know, we need to get, hopefully the people that are going through the COVID-19 will heal, and hopefully everybody won't get sick and we get back. I mean, it's not going to be easy, I guess. And everybody says it's going to be hard. And I mean, it takes everybody time and everybody has to be patient. I mean, a lot of people don't like patience. I mean, we're not really patient people. We like to have things when we want it, like our cell phones. But I mean, everything is going to be better, I hope. I think that if people just try to relax and hopefully just do what they got to do for now, you know?
Yes, just take care of business right now, whether that's your children or your elderly parents or, you know, I feel for people that can't say goodbye to their loved ones before they pass or can't be with their loved ones. You know, that's heartbreaking to hear. There's so much heartbreak right now that personally, I think that comedy should be essential right now. I think we should be allowed to be out there like doctors and nurses, you know, making people laugh. I don't know, when the nurses get out of the hospital, you know, they're 6 feet away. What's the problem? But you got to do what they say. They don't seem to think we're in that same ballpark.
No, I mean...
We're not saving lives.
We hope it will get better, though. I think that if it gets better, we could go back doing comedy. And I've even thought about, I think people will need more comedy, definitely after this, because of what's going on. There's so much depression that people really need to laugh, and we're all holed up in our house and stuck in our house. So unfortunately, we can't really do anything. All we can do is watch Netflix comedy or something for now, and hopefully during the time we'll have to figure out a way to do comedy better, I guess.
Yes.
And we got to make people laugh.
Well, the one good thing that I've noticed is I have friends in New York, at Comic Strip. And it used to be like I'd have to take a plane to go there, stay in a hotel for a week. But now through the power of Zoom, they invited me onto a comedy show in the Gladys Simon Room, which is like not the main stage. For next week, I don't have to take a plane. I really don't have to dress up above the waist.
Yeah.
So
There you go.
there are some advantages. So
Yeah. I mean, we have a lot of advantages that we could do. I mean, it just, we got to figure it out, I guess. That's kind of a good way you could do it too, I guess.
yeah.
There's always ways. I mean, I think comedy needs to be more, there needs to be more comedy in the world, more comedy school, more comedy rooms. Just every city should have a comedy, because it would just help people that are local, especially the people that can't really know what to do much because everybody's so sad,
Yeah.
You could go out of your city and travel, but a lot of people really don't want to travel,
I took a rolling microphone speaker down the street the other day and I just spoke out loud like a barker on the street. And there was a family of 17 on their front porch. They must have gotten really tired of being inside with each other. And so I got to do comedy for them. And then I was walking down the street seeing if anybody else wanted to come out and hear any comedy. And I heard behind me, somebody said, I want to hear some jokes. So I went back and told jokes to a husband, wife, and 2 dogs.
Oh, nice. I mean, I bet they were lovely to have you. I mean, that would at least appreciated of you. I mean, I bet they love that. Some people at least enjoy the little things, what we should say, the little things that we don't get to have a lot is the thing that we need, I feel like. Especially if you could go outside and just make somebody laugh at their house. I mean, it's all you can do, I guess. That's another way you can do it. I've seen people do comedy at Walmart, stand outside Walmart, just do it. I mean, that's impressive too. I mean, just anything you can do nowadays, I guess.
Yeah. In Vegas, they have Fremont Street Experience. And I've signed up online and I've gone down there and done comedy inside of a circle.
Oh, yeah.
You can be funny inside the circle, but you're not allowed to be funny when you step out of the circle.
Oh man, that's a tough circle then. I mean, hopefully that circle is strong. I mean, I've done a little bit of Vegas comedy, but I haven't actually done public comedy, so I don't know that experience yet. I've only been on stage. I feel like it might be different. I don't know if people will take it the better way. I just hope people don't get offended of some people comedy,
Yeah.
I'm not a very clean comic, but I'm also like in the middle. I feel like sometimes we gotta make sure we can make each other laugh. I mean, there's so much comedy that people like, They like clean, but they also like dirty. So you gotta give them half and half. I mean,
You have to
try to at least make it work.
Yeah, it's tough for me. I'm of a certain age. I'm 69, and if you put me in front of an audience that wants dirty, they might like me and think I'm cute for my age, or adorable, or I'm being real, but I'm not going to make them die laughing because I'm not giving them what they want. They want dirty.
Yeah, I mean, some people could be dirty, at least older, but I mean, maybe in a different age bracket. I mean, everybody has a difference of what they like, I guess. So, I mean, I don't know. I haven't even thought about doing comedy in, like, senior homes, because some of those people need, like, at least a laughter, because they don't get to go out much.
Yeah.
They stick inside of their little convalescent home, and nobody's allowed out. And because it should be at least something like that should happen, too. I thought about that, because at least making someone that is older funny too, like make them laugh, make them at least enjoy the little moments they have left in their life too.
I did comedy at my mother's nursing home after she passed.
Oh, how was that?
You get a whole hour. It usually pays about $250 for an hour. And the good thing about it is that they allow you to go for an hour, so you can really develop material there much better than at a 5-minute mic,
Yeah, Yeah.
And you
That's
get
true.
feedback. People will tell you they have no filter when they're like above 78 years old or something. And they'll say, that, I didn't get that joke, or what do you mean? Or try another joke. They have no filter. They'll say exactly what you get feedback.
I mean, that's what you want. I mean, hopefully it's a good feedback. You know, a lot of them are probably in their, like, kind of like what kind of mind they like, what kind of comedy they like. That's kind of something that I would love to know, because I don't know, are they dirty? Do they like dirty or more clean? Like,
They like suggestive, but the women are of the age where they get embarrassed at dirty. But you always have that one lady that, tell me another one, or she'll tell you a dirty joke, if you give her a second. And that makes it funny. Then everybody laughs because she's breaking the mold, But crowd work in a nursing, you can do 15 minutes of comedy and 45 minutes of crowd work just to keep them awake.
I mean, as long as you keep them awake, that's all that matters.
I've had people hauled off in a gurney while I'm doing comedy. It's not exactly fun. You're like, did I? But yeah, I started in nursing homes and hospitals, and then I worked myself when I felt like I had the courage, and then I went on stage. I didn't.
What year did you start doing comedy?
I started in 2014, March 13th. In Riverside, in Murrieta at Aces Comedy with Rocky Osborne. Do you know him?
I love Rocky. Rocky's the best comedian. He's one of the best. I love that dude.
Yeah. I called him up and I said, I don't want to live because my daughter and I aren't speaking all of a sudden. Can you get me in today to teach me comedy? And he did. I was learning comedy at 2:00 that day.
Oh, nice. There you go. Somehow comedy brings you into a better life. I feel better in my life that I started doing comedy. I started 2015, and somehow here I am. I'm a host of a show too, which is so much. I feel like being a host is a lot more tougher, but it teaches you a lot more how to network with other comedians, and then you get to meet a lot of amazing comedians, and you learn about them too, which is a lot of fun, I feel like.
And I bet you're very accommodating, like you probably care about the introduction and do a good job with the crowd work and the introduction and keeping the energy up. So I bet you're a great host.
I try, I try to get more hype, I feel like being the hype guy, I want to make people all happy, and then you want to make sure the show ended up good. You want people to leave good. You always want something good in your show. I bring a lot of comedians. I've had Rocky on my show. I've even had Dante. I've had Ron Jeremy. I've had a lot of comedians on my show. And it teaches me a lot of how to network and basically even do more writing, even do comedy. And I love when people can go up and tell a joke about me too, because if you can roast me on stage, I'll let you. Because even at my own show, if you can make a joke that's perfect, it makes people laugh, especially the people that know who I am too.
Yeah, and even if they say something that isn't accurate, those that know those that matter will know it's just a joke.
Yeah, and definitely, that's something that people should always love to do. I did roast comedy too one time at 3rd Street Live with Frank Martinez, and that was something different. I never did roasting, so I had to roast another person.
Is that in Temecula?
Yeah, that was in Old Town Temecula. I don't think it's there anymore, but it was kind of cool when I did it because I never did roasting, and I had to roast a lady, and I felt so horrible because it's something that I have to be polite, but you can't be polite about.
Who is the lady you roasted?
Oh man, I forgot her name.
Is it?
She's from San Diego.
Oh, okay. I wouldn't know her probably. Yeah.
She's a San Diego comedian. She's probably about in her 50s, maybe beginning of 60s. But it was tough because I am so much respectful for other people, especially women. And when you go up to a comedy and you got to roast a woman, You got to come out with the jokes that you got to really come out with the good ones.
Yeah. Yeah. How did that go? When you did that, how did it go then, trying to walk the line like that?
I mean, 2 of my jokes I had out of my 3 were funny. The third joke wasn't funny, but it was kind of like I told her she looked like Hillary Clinton after 4 years of being in office, and I went really hard, and that was kind of rough. I told her some other joke too, and I mean I won that round, but it was rough. I feel like because I'm more of a polite comedian. I'm respectful, but when I go on stage and perform my own self, I'm just roasting my own self on stage. Basically, I don't ever roast anybody else. So that kind of taught me something, which I'm hoping that one day I'll do it again too. But I have to learn a little bit more about it because it's tough. I mean, you got to go out there and just be brutal. And sometimes being on it and being brutal is what makes you win.
Yeah, that's the part about a roast that I hate, because I'm one of those syrupy, sappy women that always has to give a compliment and look for the good. And I can't do that. But I have a desire to be roasted. I don't think I deserve to, like you should achieve a certain success to be roasted. But I love it when people make fun of me.
I mean, there you go. I mean, sometimes that's always fun. I mean, I love what people can say about me, though, too. Like, because I always want to know what kind of joke they can come up with. Like, normal people, like, everyone has a short joke. And being a little person, you hear that same joke all the time. So I'm always curious if anyone will ever have a new joke. So if someone does, I love to hear it. Like, I hear the same jokes all over, and it's kind of funny.
That's true.
If someone can come up and say a funny joke, and I've never heard it, I give you all props. I give you points for that.
Yes. Yeah. Have you ever been accused of saying something that they've heard before? And I don't mean stealing, but my first time up at Aces, I told a joke and I heard somebody whispering from the stage. I heard them say, "I've heard that before." Have you ever heard that feedback that somebody's heard something like that before? Like you're a hack?
Not too deep. I've never been told that. I hope I don't. There's only because most of my jokes are short jokes, so I mean.
They're what, short jokes?
Yeah, they're about my size, mostly about how I go to elementary school, or how kids always want to play with me, or I love Halloween because I can dress up as anything I want, or how I got arrested and the cop had to let me go because I wasn't able to fit in the car, or he didn't have a car seat for me, so, I made a smart car joke too about a smart car, and I heard it online too about my smart car joke being a Toyota, and someone said it online and posted about it, but I've never heard people tell me I'm told because, I mean, basically, it's hard to relate to everybody else's material. Most of their materials are all different, like, they do laundry. I can't do laundry like a tall person. I feel like I have to dive in the laundry, like, the washer, I have to dive in to get my clothes, It's totally difficult, and even going to the store, okay, a lot of people love going shopping. Me, I can't even get inside the store. The door won't open, you're just stuck there because the sensor can't even see you. So, I love having short jokes. I try not to offend little people. Saying the M-word, the word called midget, you're not really supposed to say that. So I try to respect people. Lately, when I started, I did it a lot, but now I'm kind of normally saying little person now because a lot of people don't like that word. Even tall people has told me not to say it. But somehow you gotta relate to the comedy. In comedy, you gotta relate to that word. And in public, you shouldn't. I mean, there's a whole difference, I feel like.
Yes, absolutely. What's the stupidest thing somebody has said to you about your size after you got done with comedy? Like you're good for a short person, or what's the dumbest thing you've ever heard some fan quote unquote, say to you after a show?
Well, mostly a lot of people like, well, I mean, I've never heard of like a stupid thing. I just feel like a lot of people like to tell me their pointers on how I should tell my joke or which way I should go with it. Basically, I try to listen to a lot of people, but I only pay attention when I watch myself on stage and I record myself doing what I do. I like to make sure what I'm doing. You know, people that always tell me, hey, you should do the joke differently. You should go rougher, raunchier. Some people don't like that one. You know, some people don't like raunchy. Some people think I should go dirty and say the F word. Somebody doesn't like the F word. So you want to meet people in the middle. And basically, a lot of people will tell me their critics on how I should tell a joke. Basically, I try to tell them to do it on stage. Go do it. Like, people act like it's so easy to do comedy. Unless someone's done it, then I would rather hear a comedian tell me what I should do. I love when they give me advice and pointers, because then it helps me out on which way I should go. But when it comes to the crowd, I try to avoid, because basically they're the crowd. They gotta laugh. They came to pay to watch a comedian laugh, and basically their critics have, I mean, unless they didn't done comedy, then I would understand. But it's hard. I mean, you want to make sure you're making people laugh. A lot of people tell me I should not relate to myself as short and relate to everything regular in life and relate to everybody else. But somehow it's not the same. Like, I can't relate to a tall person. They're really, what is I supposed to relate to? I shop in the kids section.
That's funny. It's funny and it's not funny. It's real.
Yeah, I mean,
but there's
most of the stuff that I go through, like even baby gates. Baby gates remind me of Trump walls. Like I can't get over it, but I think it's funny that my Chihuahua can easily jump over it. And so stuff like that, I adventure, which is funny. You know, you got to make laugh over the little things that you really go through, basically. I mean,
so what in life did you wish you could do, but your height got in the way of it, if you don't mind me asking?
When I was in high school,
Mm-hmm.
I was a fire explorer, which is kind of like a teenager in the kind of like a little thing that you can do with the fire department to get into the fire thing. I wanted to become a firefighter, and then at 18, I started doing the volunteer, trying to be a volunteer. At that moment, my sight got in the way because of stuff that I basically couldn't do. You know, just me trying to get in a fire truck is hard because of the tire being so big. You got to be athletic. You got to be really average. You got to really be able to do things, especially carrying ladders, doing other things, being able to carry a tank on your back and save a life. That's hard too. I wouldn't be able to save a life. Trying to drag a tall person out of a fire in a house would probably be hard for me. I mean, that was my dream, which did not happen. I did stick it out for being a volunteer a little bit, tried to finish it, but it didn't go through. So I went from there to changing different careers.
Yes. Do you hold down a job besides comedy, or is comedy your whole thing?
I mean, I don't have a regular job, but comedy is one thing. With also hosting, I also do some acting in the small films. I want to be mostly an actor. I started doing acting in 2016 for a film in San Diego for the 48-hour film project. And then I started doing another film with the same director, which led me into another episode of the TV show called Vet TV, which I did 3 episodes with. So I really want to focus on my acting career. I also do the gigs on the side for being little. I mean, a lot of people like to hire little people during holidays and just hire them for different venues. And I do that, and I also make good money on the side of that. So
Oh, great.
Basically, I try to keep myself busy, but right now I'm kind of just stuck doing online right now, and hopefully I can get back to all the things I gotta do.
Yes, absolutely. I hope this is over, that we can safely return to our new normal, as they call it. I wish you.
I mean,
Sorry, go ahead, Justin.
oh, I do hope so. Like we can get back to normal. I mean, I don't know if it's like the normal or is it a new normal? Like, what kind of new normal life are we going through? I mean, I feel bad that people are getting sick and dying. It's crazy. I can't even like literally watch the news because it's so depressing.
It is.
The only thing I hope to hear is our government opens, but unfortunately, that won't happen until they figure something out, And
Yes.
hopefully the government will work with each other to make this happen because we do need to get back to work. People need to get money. People need to pay their rent and hopefully make a better life. Like 2020 is not really a good start.
No.
So, I do want to go Halloween. I do want to go trick or treating. Hopefully they allow us out by then.
Yeah.
But
Well,
yes,
you've been a doll to put up with these questions that I rattle off and be able to clearly say how you feel about so many things in a short period of time. I want to just kind of get to the end by asking 2 questions. They let you out of the house today. They say it's safe, and we all know it's safe, and money is no issue. You can go anywhere in the world to make people laugh. Where would you go?
That's a good question.
Thank you.
See. One of the things I would love to do is tour around other countries to do comedy. I want to venture other comedies like in London, Italy, just other places. I also want to do comedy for military. I would love to hope wherever the military are stationed or wherever they're located. I definitely want to start doing that. That's one thing. I feel like I follow the Bob Hope trait because Bob Hope loved to make the military laugh. I hope one day that I can do that too because I just love military. That's one thing I wanted to be in when I was 18 also is in the military, but unfortunately I'm too little, so I always just love the military. I think they do so much amazing things for the world just to protect us, stuff like that. I definitely want to do the military and just travel all over the world and do comedy, basically make everyone laugh because a lot of people don't see little people, so you want people to see little people and just be like knowing that people are actually real and we're all the same,
Yes.
I hope that's definitely the hope thing I want to do someday.
And nobody in the military sees little people. I mean, because of the height requirement, It's very rare. I was in the military. I never saw anybody who was a little person. Maybe little up here. What?
Yeah. Thank you for serving also.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Was in the 70s over in Germany.
Oh, how was that?
I've got a whole 5 minutes on it. It was thanks to Shakespeare. It's funny now.
There we go.
Yeah.
Military, I feel like military is something interesting. They do like interesting ways of work, and the way they do, like having to protect our people and protect whatever they do, go out for whatever, even National Guards, those people, even the doctors, I feel like they're like our heroes nowadays because they're on the line, putting their bodies on the line. So like we definitely need those people, and hopefully I make those people laugh. We definitely need those people around.
Absolutely. You're a gem, and you're a gem in a very dark world right now. The world is very dark, and you're a bright spot in my day, and I know you are to people here listening. And maybe Dante will put you on military tours. He does.
I definitely hope so. I love Dante, and hopefully I love working with that guy, so hopefully maybe that could happen too. I've heard a lot of stories of what he's done, and he toured, so, I've seen him go like other places, so in that's kind of like what inspired me because watching him do a lot of the stuff that he's done is making me kind of like want to do because that's kind of the things you want to do. You want to make people like that, even in the military, even going around other countries and doing comedy. Like one day I hope to go to Hawaii and do comedy. I haven't done that. Like, I do hope to hit every 50 states in the United States to do comedy. I hope to do that. I mean, we'll hope that we can get back to the world so I can do that.
Absolutely. Well, the last thing I want to ask you is this whole shutdown has most likely affected you as well as everybody else in the pocketbook. So I'm assuming that there's certain gigs you had that had to go by the wayside. So are you or are you not accepting Venmo or Cash App or PayPal?
I do accept PayPal and Cash App. I do have a website called ComicJustin.com. You could go there online and donate some money if you are interested, or buy a t-shirt or buy a sticker. You can get a Comic Justin sticker like this that I have right here. And it says, once you go small, you never go tall. And ComicJustin.com. You can get that on my site also if you're interested in buying those. Even donating will help too. I mean, I don't really ask. I just appreciate what people give, you know, and hope for my career to get better, you know. I'm actually being stabled right now, so holding up is really good right now. So
You're being, what'd you say? You're being what right now?
Everything is stable right now, so like basically I'm not hurting for money, but if people are interested in helping, definitely, you know, I definitely would help. Definitely wish I was rich to help those people that are in need of money too. You know, definitely the little things do matter in life.
Super. So if they want to help you, they can go on your website is what you're leaning towards? Okay.
And there's a little button on the bottom of the page, and it says donate now. You can donate, and it'll just go to my PayPal directly and basically help me out financial too.
Wonderful. Thank you so much for being so generous with your time and so interesting to get to know, Justin.
Thank you so much for having me.
I know most of the time I've been looking up here on the screen and not here on this screen, so I apologize if I'm not giving you the eye contact, but otherwise it looks like I'm looking... What's that?
You're good. You're definitely good. I mean,
thank you.
I feel like I have to look at the whole screen, look at me, making sure I'm doing good. You know, like, I mean, it's a little different for me, but I guess it's our new way of just contacting the people that we have to be around and working. I definitely love talking to you. It was a lot of fun and cool. Hopefully maybe we can do comedy together when everything gets back to normal.
That would be so awesome. Do you know Kevin Davis out in Hemet?
Yes.
Or he's
comedy.
Yeah, he's out in Moreno Valley. And Bubba Butler?
Yeah, Bubba Butler. I know him too. He lives local too. Also, he does comedy here.
He hosted the first time I was up at Aces.
Ooh, there you go.
I was really bad. Well, thank you. Go ahead.
Every first time of comedy is always like, you know, you want to, you know, my first time, I felt like I bombed. I watched my first video, and I feel like, oh man, I did horrible. Like, I feel like I'm a lot better now, so, you know, don't feel bad. I feel like I'm in that same place. We all have that moment on our first time.
Yeah, ever since the beginning, I've been putting my videos out there for every Tom, Dick, and Harry to see. And I've been told 1,000 times, don't put your crap out there until you get good. But I was like, no. And now everybody's in the same boat with me. They're all hawking their wares. Everything they got is out there. They're dancing in their kitchen. I've been doing exercises in my house for years, posting everything. So people are catching up to me.
There you go. I mean, at least you're doing stuff that people are now you're seen doing, you know, stuff like that. I mean, it's good to get your comedy out there too, because you want to be recognized and people want to see your work and your art. Your comedy is pretty much art, and everybody's art needs to matter, and it needs to just basically people need to see it, because then you get seen by everybody. And if you don't get seen by everybody, then they're lost. You know, people are gonna love comedy no matter what, and definitely comedy is always going to be around.
Yes. Another name in LA for you is Johnny Cardinale. Do you know that name?
John Cardinale?
Yeah. It looks like Cardinal. he is like with a Comedy Store and all those places, headliner, musician, songwriter, parody writer, and a comic. And he's done 69 tours to the troops. He produces, he promotes and produces them, so you might want to get to know him over time too.
I definitely appreciate the name. I wrote it down too. But that's also a good way, thank you for helping me network too.
Yeah.
This is always a good way to meet other comedians too.
Yes, we have to share. When we know we could help somebody, it always comes back. If I help you, trust me, I've been helped more. You cannot outgive. You can't outgive people.
No, you can't. I mean, at least you could just make each other happy and basically help each other. And I scratch your back, you scratch mine. Basically, at least you can make each other somehow happy in life.
If we'd all spend a little time trying to help each other get to our goals, it'd be a much brighter world.
Yes, that is definitely true.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you, Justin Fox. See you on Facebook.
Thank you.
And hope to see your comedy out live real soon.
Well, I hope so. Definitely, hopefully that will go out there soon. I definitely hope to promote more comedy and definitely try to do more venues soon and get out there. I'm doing another venue coming up, so hopefully those don't get canceled because summer, I'm definitely looking excited for summer because I want to get back to comedy.
Yes, indeed. Thank you, Justin.
Thank you so much for having me.
Likewise. Love you lots. Bye.
You too. Bye-bye.
Bye. What a sweetheart. Oh my gosh. Is he ever the nicest old soul you ever did meet? Some people, you can talk to them for 14 hours and it's like the same thing over and over and you're not getting anywhere. You're not getting deeper. You're not getting to know who they really are, how they really... He just started out being so real and vulnerable. I really appreciated him. Well, I guess I better quit yakking and get off of here. Thanks for watching, everybody. That's really helping my ego. Oh my gosh. Whoever sent that up. I can never figure out who's sending up a whatchamacallit. I don't even know what they call them. A bubble? A thought. To me, it was a thought bubble. But I don't know what they call it nowadays. All right. Well, I guess it's now 5:35 and I got a 6 o'clock and a 7 o'clock. And then I'm done for the day. So coming up at 6 o'clock is Bruce Lipsky. He hails from upstate New York. He's, let's see, how do I put this where it's not going to be offensive to him? He walks with a walker because of some kind of a disease in his body. I'm not sure what it was. I'm not going to guess. And he recently is battling an incredibly hard fight for his life with COVID-19 in New York. He has many times almost not made it through this. And he went and did a comedy show from his room at home last night at Comic Strip Live in New York. And he's going to let me have him on to try to make me and you guys laugh at 6 o'clock. I'm really touched that he's willing to do that. It's the second time out since having the virus. At 7 o'clock, local comic Spiro Adam Savelas. I have to get him to tell me how to pronounce his name. So, I don't know. I'm botching his name. I'm making Dreck out of his name, which is German for junk. So pardon me for mispronouncing your name, but I'll get it right once I get you on at 7. So that'll be my day. So I had a 10:30, a 12 o'clock, a 1 o'clock, a 3 o'clock, a 4 o'clock, a 5 o'clock, coming up a 6 o'clock, and a 7 o'clock. And I'm not sick of this yet. I love interviewing comics. Love you guys. See you later.